The sun rose slowly over the Pride lands, bathing the vast savanna in golden light. The air was alive with celebration. Animals of every kind, elephants, giraffes, zebras, antelopes, marched toward Pride Rock. They came not for a hunt, not for survival, but to witness history. A new prince had been born. That prince was Simba. He was just a cub, tiny, innocent, and completely unaware that one day he would shoulder the weight of an entire kingdom. Rafiki, the wise old mandrill, lifted him high in the air as the animals bowed in respect. In that moment, Simba wasn't just a cub. He was hope. He was the future. But like all beginnings, his story was filled with challenges, mistakes, pain, and growth. This is the story of how Simba, the beginner, the uncertain, the lost cub, rose from zero to hero. As a child, Simba was playful, curious, and reckless. He would chase butterflies, wrestle with his best friend Nala, and constantly test the limits set by his father, Mufasa. Mufasa, a majestic lion with wisdom in his eyes, taught Simba about responsibility and leadership. "Everything the light touches is our kingdom," Mufasa explained one morning as they overlooked the Pride lands. "A king's time as ruler rises and falls like the sun. One day, Simba, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you as the new king." Simba's eyes sparkled. The idea of becoming king filled him with excitement but also with misunderstanding. He thought being a king meant freedom, power, and doing whatever he wanted. He didn't yet understand that true leadership meant sacrifice and responsibility. And lurking in the shadows was Scar, Mufasa's jealous brother. Scar saw Simba's innocence as an opportunity. With words dipped in poison, he whispered dangerous ideas into Simba's ears, planting seeds of arrogance and recklessness. The tragedy that broke him on fateful day, Scar lured Simba into a gorge, setting into motion a plan that would change Simba's life forever. A stampede of wildebeests thundered down, filling the air with dust and fear. Simba cried out for help. Mufasa came brave, strong, determined to save his son. He leapt into the chaos, rescuing Simba and fighting against the raging tide of hooves. But fate was cruel. Mufasa managed to lift Simba to safety but was betrayed by Scar, who let him fall to his death. The world of the little cub collapsed. Scar, manipulating the boy's grief, convinced Simba that it was his fault. "Run away, Simba. Run away. And never return." With those words, Simba fled, alone, broken. At that moment, the future king was gone. Simba, the beginner, was now in exile. Simba wandered into a desert, dehydrated, weak, and hopeless. He would have died if not for two unlikely friends, Timon, a witty meerkat, and Pumbaa, a warm-hearted warthog. They introduced him to a new way of life. Hakuna Matata, no worries.
For the first time in days, Simba laughed. He ate bugs, swam in rivers, rolled under the stars. He escaped his guilt, burying the pain of his past under layers of carefree joy. But deep inside, Simba was torn. Every night, when the sky filled with stars, he felt a void. He remembered his father's words, his kingdom, his responsibility, but he was too scared to face them. He was a cub who had run from his destiny. Years passed. Simba grew into a strong lion, but his heart remained uncertain. Then, one day, Nala appeared. She had grown too bold, brave, determined. She told Simba about the suffering of the Pride lands under Scar's cruel rule. "You're our only hope, Simba. You have to come back." But Simba resisted. The wounds of his past were still raw. He felt unworthy, guilty, and broken. "I can't go back, Nala. You don't know what I've done." Then came Rafiki, the wise mandrill. With his cryptic humor and deep wisdom, Rafiki reminded Simba of a truth he had long forgotten. "Look harder, Simba. You are more than what you have become. You must take your place in the circle of life." And in the night sky, Simba saw his father's spirit. "Remember who you are. You are my son. You are the one true king." Those words pierced through Simba's fear. For the first time since his childhood, he saw clearly. He wasn't the weak cub who ran away. He wasn't the mistake Scar made him believe he was. He was Simba, the son of Mufasa. The beginner was ready to rise. Simba returned to Pride Rock, his heart filled with both fear and courage. The land was barren, the animals starved, and Scar sat on the throne like a vulture feeding on bones. When Simba confronted him, Scar tried once again to manipulate his guilt. Tell them who's responsible for Mufasa's death. For a moment, Simba faltered. His body trembled with the weight of shame. But then, courage surged. I am not the murderer. You are. The lions roared in defiance. A battle erupted, claws, teeth, thunder, and fire. Scar, cornered, tried to escape, but Simba stood firm. With strength born not just of muscle, but of wisdom, he overpowered Scar and cast him down. The storm broke. Rain washed over Pride Rock. Simba climbed to the peak, his body scarred, but his spirit unshaken. As he roared, the sound echoed across the lands, the voice of a king, the roar of victory. The cub who had once run away had returned, not as a beginner, but as a hero. Simba's journey wasn't about never falling. It was about falling, failing, breaking, and still rising again. He was once a cub who misunderstood power. He became an exile who ran from guilt. He became a wanderer who forgot his roots. But through pain, love, friendship, and courage, he found his true self. That is the inspiring journey of Simba. From zero to hero, from cub to king, from lost to legendary.
And just like Simba, each one of us carries doubts, fears, and mistakes from our past. Maybe we feel unworthy. Maybe we've run away from our responsibilities. But Simba's story reminds us that no matter how far we've fallen, we can always rise again. So, if you enjoyed this journey of beginner Simba, from zero to hero, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more powerful stories. Because in every one of us, there's a Simba waiting to roar.